Hey friends, I hope you're having a good day today. I'm really excited to paint this painting. I'm going to show you the reference photo first. It's on Unsplash. I'll link it in this video's description. Oh, I always get glare on my iPad. It's a brown Swiss cow. Oh, when I get closer it does better. I like that it's looking up. Isn't that cute? I recently did a Jersey cow, which is a very similar looking breed. I believe this one's a brown Swiss. I'm not a cow breed expert. I'm going to paint it on a 3-foot by 2-foot canvas, gallery wrapped canvas, 1.5 inches thick from Michaels. I have the word love on here, but I've got a bad shadow. I've turned out all the lights in my studio. I shut the window blinds because they were really causing problems. But anyway, I've got the word love on here. I kind of wanted to paint it or leave it white, paint the canvas white. I want to go, oh here, I need to show you this. I'm too excited. I need to slow down. I'm going to paint a big face. So I just have the face cut out. I did that in Photoshop. Excuse me. It's going to make a statement. It looks really big in my studio, but it's not going to look that big in the downtown gallery because it's a much larger open space. But I think it's going to make a really big statement. And I was thinking of just painting it white. But then I thought, oh, let's put a little color on there. So I put out a whole pile of titanium white. This is cad yellow medium, and this is burnt umber. And I'm going to make, here actually what I meant to do, I'm going to try to make an unbleached titanium color. Now I could just use this color, but it'll be cheaper to use the titanium white and mix it. But I'm going to put a little bit of the unbleached titanium out so I have something to gauge as far as color. Sorry, my throat's dry today. So there's the unbleached titanium. Okay, so I think that's about all I need to set it up. I need to paint this whole background and let it dry, maybe even till tomorrow, and then start transferring my cow face onto the canvas. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's chat for a second. It's more than a day later because I got busy with other stuff. This background is looking too dark to me, but it might not be by the time I get this strong cow face painted. Can you see? I blew the photo up really large. I'll get my shadow out of the way. Hopefully you can see that I just traced the photo and you can see the chalk pastel on there. I mentioned I was using these colors. Burnt umber, cad yellow, titanium white. I'm going to add Mars black, and at the very end a little Quinacridonee magenta. I'll probably make a very soft pink because his or hers lip is pink right down here. So here, I'll just show you my tubes. Sometimes you guys like seeing the tubes. So cad yellow medium. I've got them behind me. I'll grab them all. That'll go quicker. Okay, titanium white. I like this is less expensive than the heavy body. It's quite opaque. I really like that. Mars black. It's nighttime if you can't tell by the shadows. Burnt umber. And Quinacridonee magenta. Just going to use a little bit of this at the end. I want pretty much a brown cow. It's a brown Swiss. For the background, I use this 3-inch, do you call that a chipboard brush? From Blick Art Materials. It came in a pack. Really inexpensive. I really like these. They do a great job. And it helps me cover. I just did some crisscrosses. Pretty much you can see there's some diagonals leading you in. But you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. And then I recently bought some artist tape from Hippie Crafter. There is an affiliate link in this video's description. There is a disclaimer. So if you know, no pressure, you can skip right over that. If you do buy through Hippie Crafter, that link in my video's description, I'll make a little bit of money, but your price stays the same. Okay, I just feel like I should say that just to be upfront. But it's a lower tack artist tape, and I really like it. I've used it a couple different times for things, and I'm really liking it. I also have artist tape from Blick Art Materials and Michaels, and this one's just a little bit lower tack, which I kind of like. It won't work in every instance, but I just thought I'd let you know. And I think that's about it. I'm gonna start with the darks, probably the eyes, the nose, some of the mouth, and just kind of start getting some paint on there. I was a little worried about my eye shapes, but I checked my reference photo, and that's how they look, but you've got to really, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. There's a little light area. Oh, you can. You see the eyeball? And then there's a lot of shadow under the eyelid kind of thing around the eye. So that makes sense. And this is kind of the skin. That one indicates the skin, and then this one indicates the edge of the eyeball. I don't think there's anything else to chat about. I'm excited when I walk. I don't like it sitting here. It's like, blah. It's there's a big mouth right here. But when I walked into my studio, I think it's going to work well. And I think, and it's going to, as I said earlier, it's going to look smaller in the gallery. So I think it's just going to kind of make people chuckle and draw them in. Okay, guys, I'll be back in a bit. Hey friends, just a couple comments. So, I always get glare. Oops, and it's tipping. Let's just look at the chin. So the chin is lighter on this side and slightly darker on that side. And I don't think it looks any different, but when I zoom in, I feel like this side of the face is a little darker than this side, but barely. The light's definitely coming from the top. Maybe this cheek is a little lighter. Whoops. Ah. Maybe this side of the face is a little lighter. So I put in white here, but it's over the sort of the unbleached titanium that I mixed. And I put some gray over here just to try to give a little more shape to it. It looks scary and funny, don't you think? I mean, those eyes. So why did I do the eyes like that? So a lot of times, so I mixed basically a raw sienna. It's a little quinacridone and yellow and brown. Oh, it's over here. Actually, it's kind of rustier. Mixed a little raw sienna. This is, oh, I don't know what color I'd call that. That's mostly yellow, a lot of yellow and a little bit of burnt umber. And so I do that because I'm going to keep making the eyes darker and darker. Just kind of sneak up on them. And I don't know how dark, if I'll go as dark as the reference photo, but it, it gives me a start. I find some of the landmarks on the face. I filled in the nose. So the holes in the nose are black because I'm going to get some, like right here I have kind of a brown gray. We'll kind of have a warmer brown gray nose going here. So it just looks scary. And I've been switching between, oh, I think that's an 1/8 inch filbert and maybe a 3/8 inch flat, maybe a 1/2 inch flat. I think they're, I don't know what this one is. This one was a Simply Simmons flat shader. Or it still is. It's just that it's rubbing off. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you that things start out kind of scary and not looking so hot. I'm finding shapes and values, and you know, I like to start getting the eyes and the nose in so I don't lose them and get them wrong. I don't know what I'll work on next, and it doesn't really matter, but I'll be back tomorrow. Just a couple thoughts. So I'm using this, I measured it, a 3/8 inch flat shader brush from Simply Simmons. Maybe that helps if I put it up against my finger. I could use, this is a big painting, I could use a bigger brush. But the point I want to make is brush stroke directions help you. You don't have to paint in every hair or fur. Cows have hair. But brush stroke direction helps you see how these are curving. And sometimes I don't get them right, and I just come back and fix it. Another thing is I started painting down under here because I'm gonna have little chin hairs that come over. I don't think this nose is done. Let's take my ruler here. My face is a foot from the nose, so I'm close to this 3 foot by 4 foot painting. My phone is about the same distance. But it's going to look a little further, I think, on video. When in doubt, when you don't know what to paint, so I started painting this chin and went, oh, I really should paint underneath here because I'll eventually have hairs coming over it from the chin. So I started painting down here. The other thing, this has a couple of layers on it. I can see where it needs a little bit more paint. But I don't know if you can see it, and I can't lift this painting up. But I painted this on and it looks solid color. And then when it dries, I get little bits that the acrylic paint shrinks, and I get little bits. So it just needs another layer of paint. What else? Oh, this isn't exactly the right color, but so I paint in this shape first. I'm grabbing my iPad. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that, I think. Oh, there's glare. Pretty soon the sun's gonna be shining on my canvas. It's gonna come in my studio window. So I painted in that shape first, and then I'll come back with some fur direction. Maybe, you know, some brown over here, some shadow, that kind of thing. I put in a little white here because there is a highlight there. I might need to tone it down. But I'm kind of guessing at values. I can go a little wider than that, but not much. And then that's my darkest. Oh yeah, I see little pops. I'm gonna probably need to come in. What else? I think that's about the only comments I thought I would just pop in with. I need to step back, but I think I'm gonna try to keep this loose rather than paint every little bump on the nose. But since I'm painting a face and I'm painting it so big, I want some of the bumps and ridges in the nose, but I'm just gonna try and hint at them. That kind of thing. Okay, I think that helps. I think I'll just paint some more and I'll be back in a bit. I thought I'd pop in and talk a little bit about, and maybe even paint some of this ear live. So here, let's look at the ear. There's pinks and kind of oranges in there. Oh, I'm always fighting. One of these days I'll have nice studio lights for videoing. You can see, I'm not going to paint the tag. You could. But I don't know if it's showing up on video, but this is almost like a dark red down here. Kind of a rusty color. Okay, so I'm going to paint that ear, and hang on, my head's probably going to go in front of the camera here as I set my iPad down. And I've already got a little bit of it in, and I thought, oh, I'll pop in. This is the next day. I'm still using that flat 3/8 inch flat shader from Simply Simmons. And then I've got a 3/8 inch filbert. It's almost a flat from Zhu Ting. I got a bunch of really inexpensive brushes from Amazon. Just in case like I want to switch brushes quick and don't want to wash this one out. So one of the things I'm thinking is the top of that ear is pretty white, but maybe we want to sneak up to the white. So I don't know. This is too dark in my mind, but I might put some of that in anyway. I'm gonna wet my brush a little bit. So this is a combination of black and burnt umber and white, just to kind of get a putty color. And as you can see, I just put in the shapes that I can sort of see. We'll just put in, I can see hopefully I'm not wiggling my phone. I can see my microphone cord moving. And I don't necessarily like some of these first strokes, if that makes sense. But it gives me a place to start from and a place to build from. I grabbed a little bit of water. These paints are starting to get kind of old. Let's see, how long have I been working on this? 3 or 4 days. Had to think which day I started. So brush stroke direction totally helps. I just kind of piece it out like a puzzle. The light source is just really soft in this reference photo. The hair on the ear looks almost as white as the hair on the top. Here, sorry guys, I'm gonna look at the other ear on my iPad. I'm gonna make these a little darker and then build them up. So I'm using, instead of, I could go flat. I could do that. Just makes a flatter stroke. I'm using more the tip. The other ear is darker kind of over in this area. And then it's kind of got a little bit of it's actually got a dark spot here. Could put in. Oop, that wasn't any darker. Oh, a lot of mistakes happen while I'm painting, or just things that I didn't plan on. It's kind of got a little, I tend to want to line things up. Try not to. All right, I think I'm going to switch. I'm just going to clean off my brush. I dip it in a little bit of water off to my right here. I've got a 3 shelf or 3, it's almost like 3 buckets art cart next to me. And the top shelf has water and a bunch of paper towels. Let's take this cream color and get the rest of the, this is actually lighter than I painted it. Kind of reinforce that a little bit. Yeah, that's the same as my background. I might grab, just so it shows up, a little bit of that darker putty color. And actually it's okay if I lose it. I kind of want to get some paint down before I add white. I'm going to need to mix some more of that putty color. So that's this color, some white, some burnt umber until I get almost an unbleached titanium looking color. You can buy unbleached titanium. I think I have some sitting here. I think I mentioned it earlier. Oh no, I don't see it. I must have put it back on my art table. I don't know if I was holding that up and you guys couldn't see a second ago. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is time lapse this a little bit and maybe come back when I put the highlights in. Okay, so I've got quite a few more brush strokes in here. I darkened it up with some brown. I changed the shape. I looked at my reference photo and changed the shape some more. I started coming over with this yellow. So I don't know if you can see the little wispies. You might not be able to. At the end of this video, I will take a handheld tour because it's a big painting. So you can see it up close. Normally I pick up the painting and show it to you, but this one's a big one. Okay, and so I'm taking this sort of, I had a color mix that was closer to the background, and now this is a little more yellow. I didn't bother. I'm like, oh, let's just use the slightly more yellow. It'll make a little bit more variety of what I'm painting. And then I thought I'd pop in, I'm not quite to my whites or my almost whites, but let's see, I need to think. I can't always paint and talk. I'm kind of smoothing it out. So I had all this texture here, and then I kind of come back and knock some of it out. Soften it. Oh, I think I kind of want it dark there, maybe. It doesn't go that much darker. So we can kind of come up and into the, oh, here, this was nice. I don't know, I think I did that on time lapse. Just kind of come over. I don't want to do too many more. Just draw a couple of hair strokes over it. Grab a little bit of water so it flows a little bit better. How do I know when to grab water? When it just doesn't feel right to me, and that's going to be a really annoying answer, I would think. But you'll get to know. So this color has quite a bit of light or white in it, so it covers, it softens, it covers pretty well. So I had kind of a line there, and I'm just going to break it up a little bit. So I go between looking at the reference photo and then just watching my values and watching how much I want to smooth. When I pull this light yellow over it, I'm going to lose some edges, but that's okay. I think that'll look nice. Let's see, we've got quite a few that come over. Let's see here. The tag is a little, let's put a couple like this. And this is really strong. We need to soften that. Well, we don't need to, but I want to. So the color still shows, I don't know if you can see that, but the color still shows through. But these little hairs that come over really help it make look a little more real. So kind of follow a brush stroke you have and then change direction just a little bit, or just, you know, crisscross it a little, if that makes sense. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I want a little more paint there because I can see the canvas texture, but I actually don't know. Let's, I'm gonna clean out my brush. But doesn't it look so much better than it did a few minutes ago in the time lapse? Layers help. And then I'll get too busy and I'll come back and soften it. Well, and that's just opinion, that I'm too busy, you know. Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna dry, I've got a rag down here, I'm gonna dry off my brush a little bit. So some artists say don't use straight out of the tube white, just make it just almost white. But I think what's gonna happen, I'm gonna add just a pinch of water. I think what's gonna happen is that one stroke of white doesn't quite cover. Here, let me put a little, let's see if that'll look brighter white. Does that look brighter white on the video? It might not. I can see it. Okay. All right, I think we want one here. And let's just kind of go back and do what I did with the yellow with some of these and mix it up. That's going to dry a little darker. I'm going to look in my, I think that's working. I'm going to paint the other side of the face here pretty soon. I don't know what time it is. We're going to paint it live. I'll link the live in this video description. And that might be help too. And if I lose too much contrast, I can come back in with a darker color. Just kind of think hair and hair motion. I think I want. To me, that's fun. Just keep playing with it. Okay. This is really flat. And so now what I'm thinking, okay, my light's coming pretty much from the top and it's coming from the right. Oh, you can't see that. Here, maybe you can see this is a little lighter than this. So maybe. So when I get towards the end, I don't know if you can see that, but I start putting thicker paint on, which will make it more opaque too. And then the kind of the fun little brush strokes are entertaining. They're entertaining for me to paint, they're entertaining for people to look at. Okay, so now I'm thinking about, this ear looks pretty white all over. So let's go back to my sun's either coming from the top or the right a little bit. Kind of remind myself. Sometimes I'll put, I should go get one of my sun stickers. They help remind me. I put them out for the video for you guys, but they help remind me too. So I slow down trying to figure out where I want. And then try, like I had 3 that were the same, and then those 2 were the same. So I just try to make them a little bit more random. That's some of my thought process when I'm painting them. I don't recommend chatting and painting. Some of you might be good at it. Let me know in the comments if you're good at chatting and painting. I'm wondering if I want to leave that alone a little bit. Just kind of want, I'm grabbing some just thicker paint, loading up my brush a little bit more. Try to vary your strokes. Right now I'm like telling myself maybe to stop, and I'm not. Just funny. I do that even when you guys aren't here with me painting in real time. See how those dry? I don't know if you can tell they're darker. Hopefully you can tell. I put most of my lights over to the left, but you can see my shadow. But at least for the most part, my shadow's off to the right. I'm gonna get too many in here. Okay, these are kind of similar. I'm gonna grab a little more blob of paint. Okay, excuse me. Maybe we might have some light kind of coming through. Those all start and stop in the same spot. There. Now I kind of want, I really should step back. I'm losing some of these because they're a lot stronger until they dry darker. They're a lot stronger. I guess I said that. I was thinking that didn't sound very clear, but they dry down about a half value darker. Let's maybe kind of split hairs here a little bit. I just realized what I said. That's so corny. Okay. I'm gonna reinforce the ones that kind of dried. They still work. That's pretty. That ear, well, I don't know. I was gonna say that ear's redder than it might be. And I'm kind of looking at my reference photo. It really kind of comes more like this. But I don't mind it. It's not that far off. All right, now I kind of want to, I'm leaning back in my chair, try to get a little look at this. Let's say this is gonna, okay, I'm gonna stop. We'll go back to the time lapse, and then I'll pop in when I'm actually gonna go to the live. Oh, you know what I want to do though before I do that? After I just said I was gonna go, like, oh, my brush is kind of fat and dry. Like, reinforce this a little bit. It's got a little yellow in it. Let's kind of warm this up just a smidge. Okay, guys, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, friends, just a couple comments and then we'll start the live right after this. I'm just finding the hair direction on this cow. And then there's kind of a shape here that does that. Found the hairline up here. I was going to paint this off-white, but it's so close to my background color. And then in the live, we're going to work on this part of the cow's face. I don't know how much we'll get done because when I talk, I paint slower. But you might like to see me paint a section in real time. Okay, guys, go check out the live, and then I'll be back after that. Hey friends, that last little time-lapse bit was the live. I worked on the horn and this ear. Oops, still wet. I realized I was painting a little bit more on the ear and I needed to pop in and let you guys know that that last part was alive. I added some cream and I think I darkened up the reddish and oranges just a little bit. I like this ear better. But I also don't want them to be the same, so I might work on it a little bit more. But I think next I'm going to work on the eye, and then we just pretty much have the head to do, and then I need to go back and reinforce the parts of the nose. I had made this bigger, but when I came into my studio, I think it actually needs to be smaller. It's when you're right on top of a big painting, you need to step back from it quite a bit more to see what's going on. Okay, just want to let you know where we are. I'll be back in a bit. Hey friends, just a couple comments. I glazed a little orange on the nose here to warm it up, but I don't know. I get a shadow. If I lean back, you might be able to see it better. I'm also laughing because my microphone cord's all tangled. Things are starting to slow down a little bit. I need to finish putting on at least the first layer of hair. But I'll go back and say, oh, I want this differently. And then I'll go back and I want it differently. And what else? Oh, The other thing I wanted to mention is I was complaining during a live that my paints were getting sticky. So I remixed larger puddles of the colors I'm using. So that helps. I think that's about all I want to say. I need to work here. I've got straight white here. Oh, the last thing that I wanted to say is this was bugging me because I just can't get it any whiter right here. But when I got the darker gray brown on it, that helps. So while my light isn't dramatic like in my rooster photo, I painted that live. I'll link that in this video's description. If I forget, just poke me in the comments and remind me. You can tell, I'm gonna look at my phone. You can tell that I've got some light pretty much coming from up here. Oop, it's out of frame from there. But it's much softer than in some of my other paintings. Okay, I just need to keep going. We're actually not too far, other than it just depends on how detailed, or sometimes I get detailed and I'm like, oh, I don't want that, and I just smooth it out with a bigger brush. I did lighten this up a little bit up here too. Okay guys, I'll be back in a bit. Hey friends, let's take a tour. I'm holding my phone so you can kind of see my messy, this is my biggest easel, my messy painting area. You see the iPad off to the left with the reference photo? Okay, hang on, I'm gonna move that video arm. Okay, I thought we'd take a little tour and then we can chat. It's looking darker, a little bit darker on my phone than it looks in person. I don't know if that really matters. In person, the colors I think are a little brighter, a little juicier. My son was over, favorite son Jack was over for dinner, and I shown him almost done photo of this, and he came up with the title FaceTime. I was going to call it Face to Face. Here, you probably want to see that eye. And then we'll go over to that eye. Okay, horn. The ears are fun. You can tell I really focused on the ears. Here you can see the nose. You might be able to see the orange glazing I did on the brown part of the nose above the mouth. And then like there's a little bit of underglow on the chin, on the cheeks. Put a little glaze of orange or yellow. Okay, hopefully that helps. Nostrils. Okay, I'm gonna put it back in my video arm and then we'll chat a second and I'll say goodbye. Okay, things I did towards the end. I darkened the side of the face a little bit and glazed some brown over it. I just used water in my burnt umber. I think I kind of went over this side too. Just kind of warmed it up. The side's a little yellower, a little lighter. Put in spots, dots, little marks, which I think are fun. I don't know if you can see it at this distance, but hopefully you noticed I put in some face hairs. Chin hairs would be down here. Cheeks. I don't know what that would be, which is fun, and more dots. I think that's about it. This eye I made, it has more color in it than the reference photo. Here, my head's gonna go in front of the camera here. And I didn't want it to scare you because it's gonna be really big. You can see just a hint. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it in the video. Just a hint of a little bit of light in that eye. I think that's about all the comments. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I love chatting with you guys. This is fun. So what inspired me to make, so the ears aren't quite so juicy in the reference photo. Well, maybe they are. But the mouth, the color of the mouth I really liked. But I don't know if that's showing up. It looks, and when I'm looking at my phone, it doesn't look nearly as colorful as it does when I look at it on my iPad. And so I repeated those colors there. Okay guys, I think that's about it. Let me know if you like the title FaceTime, you like the background. I just wanted to keep it simple. It's kind of like, you know, right there in your face. That's another good title, In Your Face. Thank you for all your support. I couldn't do this without all of you. Great, big, happy art hugs, and I hope to chat with you soon. Bye guys.